Hello, and welcome to another episode of Amiga Retro. Today we will revisit the Vicky 20, the VIC-20 new main board with mostly new parts, except for the custom chips and whatnot, that I built in a previous episode. And I have the penultimate cartridge plus installed. In the last video, I mentioned that one of the VIA chips was weak on some of the pins, and when I tried to bend one of them to be more straight, it simply broke off, of course rendering that one useless. So there's its replacement right there. I also found a PAL, since I have a PAL VIC-20, a PAL VIC chip, I should say. I found a basic ROM, which was the PAL variant instead of the NTSC one. So we have the screen now in the proper size and centered correctly like it should be. And I also got a replacement logic chip. I think it's the, logic chip, which is the 74LS138, I believe. And one of these ones, whatever, that was replaced. So now it's fully functional, but I still have, over here, zoom in a bit. Zoom in, I said. There we go. The composite video anomalies. Now, as you can see, you get this weird, almost screen mesh pattern in some of the text. The white is nice and clear and whatnot. Everything else looks fine, but that is rather undesirable. And I will show you what it looks like if I go. It shows up a lot on text games. So if I go into adventure games here, adventure. And I don't know, how about the count? That sounds good. Okay. And there we go. Unfortunately, I don't have the keyboard to do anything, but the text looks not too bad. It actually looks a bit better than it did last time. I'm using a different scan doubler. But if I go back to the previous screen, I shall reset this. Yeah, that does not show up on the other computer. So I'm going to bring my other VIC-20 and show it to you. And I think the reason why I'm seeing this is because for some reason this main board has a crisper, cleaner output. And that's why you're seeing this weird artifacting. So I will get my other VIC-20, hook its output up, and we shall see how that looks in comparison. Yes. So here we have the Made in USA version of the VIC-20 right here. Cleaned it up nice and neat and stuff. And we're going to see what the video output looks like this in comparison to the previous one, the new Vicky 20 board. And as you can see, this one is a bit darker for some reason, and I can actually fix that quick enough. We'll take this apart. I should be able to adjust the brightness because this is kind of dark. Darker than it should be. It looks like it's like very, very high contrasty at the moment. So I'm going to take this apart and let's see if we can correct this. One moment. Okay, so that is the potentiometer I'm going to be adjusting. So we're going to keep an eye on the screen over here while I attempt to zoom back out again. There we go. That's a big monitor. There we go. Turn it on. Boop. Wait for a video. Any second now. And there we go. So I'm going to adjust that potentiometer I pointed out earlier. See if we can, sorry about that. See if we can get that image to be a bit brighter. Or not. Looking like I cannot speak today, I apologize. Looking at the position of the potentiometer, we have lots of brightness we can adjust here. 1 second. No. Okay. Well, oh no. Too bright. See, there you go. And jail bars happening. Okay, so I'm going to go to, that's probably too, yeah, that's too bright because I started to do something weird there. So I'll go back it off a bit. I'm going to leave it right about there. I think maybe back it off just a bit. This is not a very technical way to do this. Yeah. So that looks much better now. And I'm going to put the penultimate cartridge back in again. and we'll see if we get that weird pattern that we were seeing before. I'm going to turn this off and position the keyboard in a place that does not cause massive amounts of mayhem. Whoop. Grab the cartridge, insert the cartridge. Oh, this is, oh my goodness. Ugh. Try not to break the cartridge. I think that's it. Yeah, the VIC-20 is notoriously difficult to install the cartridges in, especially when they're new. And let's see what happens. Turn it on. Wait for the sync to occur. Any second now. There we go. And we're going to zoom in a bit more here, just to give you a bit better view. There we go. And as you can see, you don't seem to get that artifacting here. It's about as bright as the other image was before. I'll put a comparison on the screen for you, maybe split screen, if I have the editing prowess to do that. But yeah, it's kind of weird. And I've tried other modifications to the new Vicky-20 board, the nice blue board that was populated from my last video, and no matter what I've tried, I can't get it to look like this, and I don't know why. I don't know what it's doing differently. I even tried a different VIC chip. That made no difference. All the component values are fine. So my solution is I'm going to do a slight modification to the Vicky-20 board to give me super VHS output. So hopefully we'll even get a better output than this. So let us begin. I shall be right back. So here it is again, hooked up just like before, and we're back to the not so amazing video output of this board. Now, like I said, it's got that weird thing going on here, but it's a crystal clear image, and I think that's a part of the problem. I mean, as far as composite goes, maybe it's too crisp. I don't know, because of the newer components. Once again, I don't know, and I'm saying that a lot because I really have no clue. If anyone has any ideas, comments please. I am always appreciative of learning new things and insights. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick mod to turn this output of coming from the VIC chip down here to VHS goodness. Why do I keep saying that? S-video goodness. That's better. I always say SVHS. Maybe that's because of whatever. But the S-video. Good S-video output from the circuitry that exists here. And it's going to be, one trace has to be cut on the video connector, but other than that, I should be able to get away with doing some modifications underneath the board. And let us begin, shall we? I shall be right back. So, what we're going to do is cut the one trace that's under here. And I've already done the one modification. As you can see, I have an image on screen of what has to be done. There was a ferrite bead here, right where my finger is. Maybe I'll use this better pointing device. I've already replaced that in a previous attempt to improve the output. The ferrite bead, which is basically just a straight through wire with a ferrite bead on it, and this has been changed to a 0.1 microfarad capacitor. There's also another capacitor here, which I shall remove, and in place of that, a 75 ohm resistor will be installed. And instead of connecting to this capacitor here, which I believe is C17, and R10, which is the one we were adjusting previously for the brightness on the other computer, this is the same functionality. So basically connected to, instead of having this connected to these 2 points, I'm going to remove this and run it to the other outputs. You're going to have basically your chroma and your luminance going directly to this socket. And I believe, I'll find out shortly, that this video, too much zoom, this video here, output and audio, should have separate leads that I can use for the Luma and chrominance output for the for the S-video. I keep saying super VHS. S-video, yes. And the S-video out. And hopefully I don't have to make anything custom for that to happen, but I do have a pre-made S-video cable that should be able to plug into these without issue. Okay, let us begin. Oh, that was my hand in front of the lens. So sorry. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect this without wrecking stuff. There's one. Power off. Unplug power. Unplug joystick. And switch the board over. And yes, there we go. I position that here so it's easier for me to work on. And where are we at here? Yes. Not quite where it should be. And the video out, I believe, is, yes, this one. I make sure I cut the right ones. So what I need to cut, I believe I do have the maximum, the maximum zoom. Oh, I don't. Now I do. I'm rambling a lot today. I apologize. So what I need to do is cut the trace here. So one will serve as the luma and one will serve as a chroma. So I will cut this here. This is the junction point here where I believe the capacitor goes across here. So I'm going to remove it from the board and then run the resistor, the 75 ohm resistor, from here to this output there. And then we'll see if it actually works. So I'm going to make that modification and I will be right back. Okay, so I have cut the trace, as you can see, if I could see, so right there, very small nick. I'm going to use a multimeter to make sure it's actually broken. This is the only cut trace I'm going to do. And the good thing is, if you want to put it back to the way it was, you just jumper this wire. All this does is these two pins will just be composite. They're connected to each other. It'll be, one comes from a transistor, I believe Q2, and it just connects to this one. So both of these outputs are actually composite. By cutting this, we're going to be feeding luma into one side, chroma into the other. Thus, that's video. I almost did it again. Damn it. Damn it, you JVC and your Super VHS. Okay, so we will continue with that. So I'm going to ohm this out to and put in continuity mode so we get an official beep. And see if we, oh goodness. Sorry about that. Let me close that up there. Okay. Okay, so that works. So all I'm going to do is make sure there's no continuity here, which there shouldn't be. No. There is here. There is not here. So path is now officially broken between the two, so we can use one as chroma, one as luminance. Now I have to make sure which one is which. So I can route the 75 ohm resistor from where that capacitor was. Soon won't be because it's in there, whatever. Routing to the one of these. I believe it should be, I'm going to guess maybe this one here, since there's something coming off this side. So it should be this side that will be open, nothing should be connected to it, but I have to double check. Okay, I am about to unsolder C13. This is going to be removed from circuit, and then underneath the board I'm going to run the 75 ohm resistor from this point to the pin on the bottom of the pin on the bottom of the audio video output. So I do have the 75 ohm resistor here. Let's see if the focus will work today. There it is in my hand. And using the performance tester, using the component tester, I shall test it. And we do have 75 ohms, well 74.9. It was 75 the last time I did it, but obviously close enough since they're usually rated 5 to 10% depending on the resistor. So I shall install that underneath the board to the terminal. So that is free. I'm going to get some heat shrink and some other stuff, and I shall return. Okay, I have returned somewhat, and what we're going to do is attempt to solder the resistor that I encased in heat shrink so it can try to focus. Yes, as you can see there, and the leads are on the end. That way the whole thing is protected, nothing was short against the components, because it will be crossing some of them on the board. And oh, there it is. Same idea. I'm going to try to not get wires tangled everywhere. The tripod might move a bit because my arm is literally going right through it. Okay, some solder would come in handy. I am probably in the way, I apologize. I'm going to melt this. There we go. I'm going to touch this up a bit. Get a bit of solder on there, not too much. Find where I put the resistor. Oh, there it is. I'm going to tin that off camera so I can get it to solder. I am tinning one of the ends. There we go. And we will try to put this here, like so. A bit more. Okay, so that's on that end. I'm not a big fan of the way that looks. Let me just pull it in. Oh, that's even worse. This soldering iron sucks. I don't know why. I paid good money for it, but I think it's the tip that's not the greatest. So let me try this. I'm going to increase the temperature, and maybe I need more flux. You know what? More flux. I will be right back. Okay, I have returned. I have added a blob of flux there. That's apparently no clean flux, as you can see here, which is upside down, of course, because that's the way I go. Oh, the camera focus, you monstrosity. There we go. Like everything in life, just give it time and it will happen. Okay, enough of that. Let us solder this on, or solder, if I want to say it correctly, to here. Now this flux will help greatly instead of relying on the flux that's within the actual solder itself. Much better. Yes, a bit of flux goes a long, long way. So that end is on. Let me put this away, and I will route this to, what hole here? Oh, there's so many holes. That one. I'm going to ignore this one. Now the reason why I chose to go under board, I could went above board to connect, you know, where the capacitor was that I, sorry about that. The capacitor that was on the other side of the board here, I could have put the resistor in there instead of here, but then I would have had to have cut two traces. I don't like cutting traces. The one here is easy enough to reverse. Here, just more wires you don't need. So by doing direct point to point like this underneath the board, it will save me having to cut these traces. So it's less destructive that way. So that's why I'm doing it the way I am. So I'm going to route this the best I can to that position. And that should be that. I'll route this off camera to where I like it to sit, maybe put a piece of tape on it so it doesn't move. And then that should be the mod. And we shall see how well it works, if at all. With such confidence, I will return. And there we go. Behold, the 75 ohm resistor going to the connection of interest. And as promised, I put a piece of tape on there so it doesn't flop around or become loose. And you probably can't see it, but I put a small amount of this fingernail polish enamel protector stuff, which I put on the connection that I cut the trace on, just in case oxidization tries to get onto the copper. So that's now protected from the air around us. Isn't that nice? And so it looks good. And if I flip it over here, and as you can see, it is the one capacitor is no longer there. It's been bypassed underneath, and hopefully this should work. One of the depending on this cable here, let me zoom out apparently. This cable, I believe, should also output composite, because there's composite still going to one of these, because remember they were jumpered. So I should still get regular composite out, so I guess that's a good thing if you still want to use that, but now I should have separate Luma on the other pin. So we'll see how that works. All I need to do is find the special modified, or sorry, the custom SVH, here I go again, S-video cable. Yes, the S-video cable that I created many years ago. enough rambling, and we'll hook this up, and I will be right back. Yes, before I try to hunt down the cable, I was a bit in error. We know this is working right because that is the Luma, obviously, so it's in black and white. But because I disconnected the circuit going to the base of that transistor, remember that capacitor that I removed? It's not going to get the full signal for the composite, so you can't use the composite's no longer there. It should just be the chroma, at least I'm hoping, and which is your color information. And if I hook that up to the, I believe, which is now the chroma output, you'll probably see a bunch of garbage any second now. Whatever that is. So I'm hoping that is the chroma signal, and we should get a nice color image once I find the cable that I made so long ago I forgot where I put it. So until that happens, I will be right back, which hopefully, well, for you it will be instantaneous. Hopefully for me it won't be that long. Yes. Return? I shall. Yes. Actually, that was quicker than I thought. I have the cable that I created right here, so it's S video on one end. Notice I didn't say the other word. And of course, 2 RCA on the other. And the Star Tech frame grabber thingy that I'm using for this output also has obviously not just composite input, it also has S video input. So I'm going to hook that up, and let's hope this works. Okay, I have it hooked up here. I have a 50-50 chance of getting this right, that Luma and chrominance are actually in the right, oops, sorry about that, in the right order. If not, I'll just swap them. Let's see what happens. I'm a bit scared. I'm not horrified, because I don't think nothing's going to blow up, but was all of this in vain? We shall see. I'm on the wrong input. One moment, please. Okay, what are we at now? Gonna make noise? Say something? No? Well, it's doing something. That's undesirable, isn't it? Let's try swapping that, shall we? See what happens. If anything. There we go. And this is the S-video output that we're using. Of course, see, that's why I don't play lotteries. I had a 50-50 chance of getting these connections right, and I failed miserably. But as you can see, we have a, if I can zoom in a bit, an S-video output. Crystal clear, no weird anomalies. So now this board has been done justice. I'm getting a nice output from this. I don't know why the composite was the way it was. I just think because the output on this is just too sharp. I don't know why, because it's the same components. Who knows? But success. S-video out. And the mod is very easy to undo for some reason. If you wanted to, you just have to jumper the one wire on the socket for the video and put that capacitor back in again, so it does the mixing of the Luma into the chroma to give you your composite output. And excellent. So let's see what some games actually look like with S-video quality. I have a joystick here. Do I have speakers? I think I do. We will find out. What menu am I even in on this thing? Boulder Dan? I don't know what that is. Come on, sync, damn it. There we go. Oh, that looks nice. One moment. Let me turn down the lights and do stuff. 1 second. I have never played this game before, so please be gentle with me. Kind of want to angle here, like height-wise, but it's going to take a while to adjust it. 1 moment. Let's zoom in a bit. Could use my frame grabber, of course. That would probably be a better option. There we go. Let's see what happens. Press fire. Oh no. Oh, I know what this is. It's like Boulder Dash, but with boulders? Oh, I died. There we go. Success. I guess. Not success for me, but yes. So get the diamonds, don't get squished. That seems pretty good. And what's good about the Ultimate cartridge, let me get into better angle here, is I can just reboot this by pushing on the button. It goes back to normal. Cool. But as you can see, it looks really nice now. It looks much better than before. Worthy of this awesome board. So I will take no more of your time, and so that was a quick and easy mod, and I don't see why this would obviously work on a regular VIC-20, you know, like the standard VIC-20. I mean, this is a standard VIC-20, but I'm getting at the older versions, not the remade version. I am not speaking well today. But anyways, there you have it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If not, likewise, I guess you can do the reverse, and that'll be it for today. And as always, thanks for watching. They're horrible games. Can I not play properly? Oh, not the adventure ones. Those ones are absolutely hideous. I don't have a paddle. That's not gonna happen. Or you have these ones. Future was 8-bit. How about Birdie the Ball? Yep. Oh, this looks dangerous, doesn't it?